Hi, I'm Kerry Suter for I Run Far, and I'm here with Dylan Bowman, champion of the TNF100 in Australia. Congrats, Dylan.
Thanks, Kerry.
Outstanding run yesterday, record time, 8 hours 50 minutes. Did you ever think you were going to go under 9?
Well, I kind of wanted to go around 9 hours, just judging from how fast the course had gone last year and the fact that it was a little bit faster this year with the removal of a stair section. So I figured 9:10, 9:15 was going to be in the cards, but secretively I kind of wanted to go around 9 hours, and so yeah, I was just a little bit under that.
Now, it was a massively talented men's field. I haven't seen a race like that in Australasia. We had runners down to like 15 places, all of which are internationally renowned and recognised. You went into the race as, you know, certainly one of the dominant runners, with Francois Den in the mix as well. Runners like Tucky, Brennan Davies, course champion. You knew you were going to be surrounded with a lot of very capable runners, and it was certainly going to be a battle. Tell us about how that played out.
Well, it was a hell of a battle. I mean, the whole way, really. And basically how it played out for me was I hung back from the early leaders. I ended up running a lot with Francois and the Australian guys, Tucky, Scotty, Jono, and eventually we caught up to the front group, which was Julien Choyer, the Nepalese runner, Jan, and another individual I didn't know. And that was basically right as we came into checkpoint 2, and then as we left, things started to split up a little bit more, and then of course a few of us made a little bit of a mistake, got off course. I ended up running with Francois and Jan, not really knowing that there was a problem, and then coming into checkpoint 3, we were held back for about 15 minutes. At that point, the guys went through, and then we left behind 3 of the guys and were able to catch back up to the lead back at like maybe 56 or 57K, and then from there there was 4 of us. It was Scotty Hawker, Jan, Francois, and myself, just battling. And eventually Jan and I split from the other 2, and he and I battled for a while, and then I just made my move going up the last climb.
Yeah, now there's I think probably two parts to this story. There was an incredible battle that happened for you, really from about 66K through to the 100, but also that pivotal moment in the first part of the course between CP2 and CP3. And I don't want to dwell on it, but there was a point at which you missed maybe a bit of the course, only a short section, and then got a standing penalty at CP3. And obviously that meant that Scott Hawker was able to go through, and some of the other guys were able to go through ahead of you whilst you stood down with Francois and a couple of others. A little bit of discussion about that and whether or not it was fair, and how you think that sits with you in the race.
Right. Well, first of all, you know, in trail racing these things happen, and it obviously wasn't an intentional, malicious thing of us cutting the course. We followed course markings at a place where it was confusing. And in fact, it wasn't confusing. We followed course markers and had no idea that we were off course at all until maybe 5K later, when we weren't catching up to the guy in the lead, Jono O'Loughlin. So to the point about fairness, I think absolutely, you know, it was fair for them to hold us back, obviously. I mean, they have to account for cutting the course in some way. From what I understand, it took the leaders about 8 minutes to go through the 1.3K that we missed, and they held us at the aid station for about 15 minutes. So I thought that was a fair penalty, given the fact that we had not run the full course. And I do thank the race management and Tom and Elena for allowing us to continue. But I think, generally speaking, the results and how it played out is a fair reflection of how everybody was moving on the day. And you know, I certainly am confident in the fact that I was the strongest runner yesterday, and I'm super happy with the result.
Yeah, now we were with you at around about 80K into the race, and it was actually really close. There was yourself and Jan in the front, and Scott Hawker was in the hunt, only about 90 seconds adrift, and then not far back to a couple of other runners that were all working to get back into that lead group. Tell me about that last 20K and how hard you had to push.
Yeah, I mean, it was really interesting moment in my ultra career. I mean, I was running with Jan shoulder to shoulder for a couple of hours, and we didn't say a word to each other the whole time. And I honestly felt that he was the stronger runner of the two of us. I felt like I was the one that was barely hanging on. And we got to the bottom of the last climb together, and there's a couple little ups and downs before it goes up proper for the remainder of the race. And at that point, I just made the decision that even though I didn't feel great, I was going to at least try to win the race. And I didn't want it to come down to a sprint finish like Tucky and Stu had last year. So I figured, you know, I do a lot of workouts hammering uphill on smooth fire roads, and that was basically what the course was like at that point of the race. So I figured I would back that part of my training, and I made my move on Jan there, and blew through the last aid station, didn't stop at all, and didn't look over my shoulder for a while, and you know, was able to hang on basically at the end. So it was a heck of a race, though.
The spend must have been pretty big. You've had a really tough start to 2015. I mean, you blew that Tarawera Ultra course to pieces, a 45-minute course record. You did stuff to that course that I've wanted to do to Emma Stone for some time. Now, another course record here. Seriously, you're spending a lot. What's left in the bank? What are you going to do now?
Well, to be honest, I'm really, really happy in where the fitness is right now. I had to take a couple weeks off in the spring due to a little health scare thing, so I really only had you know, 5 or 6 weeks of training going into this, and so now I've got 6 weeks until Western States. Obviously, the endurance is there, the speed is there, and now it's just all about recovering properly and getting a few more weeks of solid training in, and then I'll give Western States one more good crack. And then after that, the plan is to go to CCC. How much will be left in the tank at that point? Who knows? But at this point, I feel really good. I feel confident, and I'm excited to go back to Western.
Yeah, well, I'm excited for you. You've had just such a great 2014 and 2015, and you're certainly a crowd favourite wherever you go. Well respected and liked by everyone. So we do wish you all the best. Congratulations again, Dylan.
Thanks, mate.
Well done.
Thanks.